Hi, this is Kylie. I'm going to tell you a story. So, once upon a time, Pace and I were in Ireland. It's very beautiful there, and we spent 2 weeks in Ireland on our honeymoon. And the first week we spent nestled into this beautiful little flat in Galway. It was amazing. And the second week we rented a car and we drove around Southern Ireland. And let me tell you something, driving on the opposite side of the car, on the opposite side of the road, really amazingly brain bendy, crazy, whoa. We had the craziest time. We had all of these wacky things happen, and we got lost a whole lot, and we couldn't find our hotel once, and we drove around and got crazy lost and wound up at this giant statue of a scythe, and I was like, oh my god, that cannot be a good sign. And it's really funny and dark. And one day, New Year's Eve, in fact, we were driving. I was driving because I'm a better driver than Pace in general, and she did not want to tackle opposite driving. So I was driving us around, and we were lost, which was a common occurrence. And we started, it was icy. It was icy in Ireland. It was crazy. And we started noticing that there were no streetlights, really, and it was very, very dark, and we had no idea where we were. So I had a meltdown. Yeah, I pulled off on the side of the road, and I just cried and cried. I was like, I cannot do this. I'm driving on all these opposites, and I can't think, and it's very dark, and now the car is sliding around in the ice, and this is just done. I'm done. So we drove to the nearest town, which was Lisdoonvarna, and that's not how it looks like it's pronounced at all. And we went into this pub, and they clearly did not appreciate our presence. In fact, the pub, there was a bar, and there were like all these people sitting at the bar, and the publican, who's the dude that runs the pub, they were all eating, and we said we would like some food, and he said, we're not serving food right now. And I was like, what about all these people that are eating food? Well, we just stopped serving food. Okay, how about a bed? And he said that they didn't have any beds, but their vacancy sign had been on. And I have lots of reasons why I think that he may have been less than enthused to have our business, but it doesn't matter. He didn't want to serve us. So we hiked it to the big hotel, which was happy to take our euros and give us food and Guinness. Woo! Guinness. And we had a fabulous New Year's Eve, and we went to bed at 10 o'clock. So when I talk about, this is an exemplary story of the adventures that Pace and I have every time we travel. In fact, when we went to Blog World just a few months ago with Kyeli Kingman, hi Kyeli, I told her when we got in the car together, just so you know, crazy adventures will happen to us, because every time I go on a vacation, it becomes a wild adventure. And I was not wrong. It's very funny. So here's the thing. We go on these trips, and they're supposed to be relaxing vacations, but they always wind up being these wild adventures. And when we tell stories from trips, like we went to Hawaii once, and there are some serious stories about that. In fact, we called it Honey Doom, and we wrote a whole song about it. We tell these stories, and people are horrified, like, oh my god, that sounds so horrible. And we get a lot of sympathy, but we're being misunderstood. Because here's the thing. I love adventures. It's one of my core values is adventure. And so when we go on a vacation and it turns into this epic adventure where crazy stuff happens and we get lost and we wind up seeing this incredible stuff that we never would have seen before, that's how I like it. Yeah. And it's all in my attitude. Because let me tell you, getting iced into a tiny village in rural Ireland where no one wants to help you because they think you're totally insane, it can really be not fun. And it was very late and very icy and quite stressful. But looking back on it, it is so hilarious, and it's one of my favorite stories to tell, and it just lifts me up. And because of that night, because we got iced into that particular town, we went to Bridget's Well the next morning, and I had the most amazing spiritual experience of my entire life right there, because we got iced into this tiny town, and because we didn't tough it out and try to drive to the next town. Everything worked out perfectly amazingly. And that's how it always happens. Crazy shit happens, and then epic adventure happens, and then the perfect thing comes next. And here's my challenge for you. This is where all this ramble is going. I swear I have a point. When you are in a situation that could be stressful or could be fun, I hate to break it to you, but you get to pick. You get to pick. You get to say, you know what? I am going to have an adventure today. If you are in line at the grocery store and you're feeling really bored, turn to the person next to you and start having a conversation. You could have connection right there. And if you are stuck in a traffic jam, use it as an opportunity to listen to your favorite music. So be sure to have your favorite music in the car. Take your wild, crazy, precious life and make it yours. Turn that stress into adventure. Find a way to take your attitude and shift it from this is happening to me and it sucks to wee, this is amazing. Because let me tell you, it will be way more amazing if you do. Mwah! See you next time.